Lying next to the Langley Regional Airport east of Langley City, British Columbia, the Canadian Museum of Flight is a popular place widely known for its dedication to restoring, preserving, and showcasing Canada's rich aviation heritage. In the early 1970s, a group of aviation enthusiasts made a move to stop the exodus of historic aircraft leaving Canada for the US and Europe. This group pooled their resources to acquire many of these aircraft. In March 1977, the Canadian Museum of Flight and Transportation was incorporated as a non-profit society located on Crescent Road in Surrey, BC. In 1996, the museum moved to the Langley Airport. In the spring of 1998, the museum legally changed its name to the Canadian Museum of Flight Association. The mission of the Canadian Museum of Flight is to bring BC's aviation past into the future by dedicating efforts towards the collection, preservation, and maintenance of aircraft and other artifacts of significance to aviation history. With over 25 aircraft on display and many related artifacts, the Canadian Museum of Flight owns the only displayed Handley Page Hampden in the world. The museum also maintains an extensive library of books, aviation publications, manuals, artwork, and photographs and other articles related to Canadian aviation. Essential to the museum, volunteers undertake most of the day-to-day operations of the facility. Most restoration and maintenance work is done on a volunteer basis. For example, on February 13, 2002, after a 22-year restoration, museum volunteers saw the 1937 Waco AQC cabin biplane take to the skies. This restoration was done completely by the museum's volunteers. As an historical and educational institution, the Canadian Museum of Flight provides education and entertainment to the general public, as well as preserving our history for future generations. The museum is a very hands-on facility because a large selection of the aircraft can be touched. Thanks to volunteer involvement, the museum offers an educational program with Lower Mainland schools to enable students to learn about aviation history in a fun and interesting way. The museum also provides a training facility for a variety of occupations, from office and computer clerks to aircraft maintenance and restoration. The museum is constantly undergoing display changes to allow visitors to see something new each time they stop by. Visitors can take a chronological walk around the museum starting with World War I to present day, and can see how large a part Canada has played in aviation history. It's worth mentioning that the museum features aviation on the ground. In 1971, Queen Elizabeth II visited British Columbia, celebrating the centennial of the province's entry into the Canadian Confederation. During this centennial tour, the Queen visited 9 communities in BC, as well as Whitehorse, the capital of the Yukon Territory. During the Golden Jubilee Tour of 2002, the Queen made a royal tour to Canada, visiting Iqaluit in Nunavut, followed by Victoria, Vancouver, Winnipeg, Toronto, Oakville, Hamilton, Ottawa, Fredericton, Sussex, and Moncton, all within the space of 12 days. In Vancouver, accompanied by Wayne Gretzky and in front of 18,000 hockey fans, the Queen dropped the ceremonial first puck for an NHL game. The The Canadian Museum of Flight is community-oriented, providing a unique tourist attraction that is both entertaining and educational. The museum fosters an awareness and appreciation of Canada's unique aviation history for residents of British Columbia, as well as visitors from other parts of Canada and around the world. Thank you for watching and listening. Please subscribe to this channel, Words of Woods.